What's up, Space Pirates? This is your Admiral, the boundlessly boisterous Dr. Disaster, and this video is a bit of a celebration in the face of all the dingleberries out there who thought that Assassin's Creed Shadows had somehow saved Ubisoft, who thought that with its release there was no way that the company was going to have to lay developers off. Well, I got some tough news for those folks to take in. The first planned Ubisoft studio shuttering, which we first heard about in January, it has just taken place.
It has begun!
No, God!
I can hear these Ubisoft corporate automatons now. They're saying, but that's impossible, chuds. Assassin's Creed Shadows has 21 billion players playing it right now. Yeah, you heard that right. 21 billion. That's larger than the population of Earth. That means even the freaking aliens are playing it, chuds. And also, it's impossible for Ubisoft to be having problems right now because not only is Assassin's Creed Shadows the most successful and best thing ever, but we ratioed Elon Musk and Grums over on X. That's Elon's own platform, dude. Do you know how popular Ubisoft is right now?
Do people not like me?
Well, I'd love to say that I hate to break it to them, but you guys all know I'd be lying my ass off. As a Schadenfreude enthusiast, I am pleased to announce that Ubisoft has shuttered its first studio of the year, which is optically very poor timing since it comes in the wake of the Assassin's Creed Shadows release and in the wake of the Tencent deal, which disappointed a lot of investors and simply allowed Ubisoft to keep existing for at least a short while longer. Like sharks watching a ship full of people start to sink, I picture the vast majority of gamers nodding their heads enthusiastically at this news. Meanwhile, those stubborn Ubisoft corporate ass-kissing automatons continue to utter only one thing in response.
No. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. 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 Hell no. 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 I refuse. No. No.
Alright, me hearties, make sure you hit the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also, please consider supporting the channel by becoming a member. Audiobook of a dark fantasy novel I've written will be available for members first very soon, and there is also a space pirate cartoon I'm working on. The thing is, I realize it's important that we not just complain about what we don't like, alternatives must be provided. So, I humbly ask that you consider becoming a member of the channel for the fraction of the cost of a cup of coffee every day. But anyhow, let's have a look at what's going on with Ubisoft. As always, context is extremely important here. Ubisoft stock is trading currently at below $11 per share. Assassin's Creed Shadows and the Tencent deal have not saved the company. They are back down to where they were after Star Wars Outlaws failed. The market is speaking, and it will continue to speak all this year as thousands of people lose their jobs who probably never should have had them in the first place. 18,000 employees, which Ubisoft has, is a ridiculous number. Hell, EA, which is obviously a behemoth in the gaming world, they have only 13,000 employees. At a minimum, this company, Ubisoft, has needed pruning, major pruning. Someone needed to swoop in and remove the majority of the useless, screeching harpy HR ladies a long time ago. But later this year, they aren't going to get a pruning, it sounds like they're going to get cleaved. We'll talk about that in a minute though. Let's read Ubisoft's announcement. As Grums wrote on X, it begins. Ubisoft Leamington shutting down, I'm hearing the big moves will be later. And then he posted an announcement from Ubisoft's Leamington studio, which says, after many incredible years, we want to share the news that Ubisoft Leamington has officially closed its doors. We are beyond grateful to our talented team, blah blah blah. You get the picture. As we discussed earlier this year, this studio is toast. Apparently, this studio used to employ 185 people, but not any longer. And, as everybody has been saying, the big cuts will be coming soon for this company. Those are the rumblings that I have been hearing for a while now, and those voices have only grown louder now that Assassin's Creed Shadows has come out and they haven't had the balls to announce any actual sales figures. And they've also grown louder in the past week ever since the Tencent deal was announced. I get emails from folks from time to time from people who claim to be Ubisoft insiders giving me little tidbits about what's going on with the company. It's usually nothing substantial enough to report on, or it comes from someone that I can't verify well enough to my liking, so I usually don't talk about it, but I will say this. The number of people reaching out to me about the chaos at the company right now has reached a fever pitch. The theme is essentially the same from everyone. Very big cuts are coming at Ubisoft, and they will almost assuredly take place by the end of the year. Considering that Tencent is much more invested in this company now, I'd be shocked if the cuts didn't start by the end of the summer, to be honest with you. Tencent is an investor that has reportedly swooped in with $1.25 billion in order to keep Ubisoft afloat. And to be clear, for a company of 18,000 employees, considering that the average developer salary is about $100,000, that $1.25 billion doesn't even represent what is most likely a single year's worth of the company's salaries to pay. But now that Tencent is much more heavily invested, we just know that this news, that Leamington finally shuttered, we simply know that it is only the first of many cuts that will be taking place. Ubisoft supposedly operates over 45 studios across the world. Once again, let's compare that to EA, who has around 20 studios. Ubisoft's size is absolutely preposterous when measured against its lack of success, especially in the past couple of years. No, like I said, I can't verify that any of the cuts mentioned in the emails I've received will be happening, but the numbers being talked about are massive. Let me tell you what I think will happen by the end of the year, though. One of these two things, and maybe both, will take place by my guess. Ubisoft will likely shave off around half of its staff, bringing themselves down to where they are no longer employing more people than EA, who, once again, has only around 13,000 employees. The other thing I suspect will happen is that this new business entity that has been formed alongside Tencent, which houses Assassin's Creed Shadows and Rainbow Six, that new business entity will get bought out by someone. Maybe Microsoft, maybe EA, maybe Tencent. Who knows? But it will at least have people looking to buy it out. The rumors will at least start to swirl. We will hear about people talking about buying out that studio, or business entity, or whatever you want to call it. And when all the restructuring is done at Ubisoft, this new business entity will get all of the actual value of Ubisoft tossed into it. It'll likely be way less than half of the current team of Ubisoft. Those will be the people who get the lifeboats for this sinking Titanic. Everyone else will be left to continue on at the Ubisoft husk. This studio that just shut down, this Leamington studio, is clearly the first step on the road to this future. But I'm going to leave it there. Drop your contempt for this ridiculous company into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.